All right, so you've been asking, and we are finally diving deep into Stringfisher.
It's about time.
Right. You all had a lot of questions about this one, so we're going to try to answer them all. We've got lyrics, we've got interviews, even some behind-the-scenes stuff for this one.
Oh, very cool.
So get ready for catchy tunes and maybe even some existential pondering, because Stringfisher brings both.
They really do. And for those of you already familiar with the UK indie scene, there's a lot to unpack here, and Stringfisher's unique blend of influences is definitely going to get us talking.
So who is the Stringfisher? We got to start somewhere, right? They're a solo act based in Northwest England.
Yeah, just doing it all themselves.
Yep. And you might hear traces of indie dream pop, even shoegaze in their sound, but
it's really hard to pin them down.
Definitely not easily categorized.
Exactly. There's this sense of defying expectations that you always get with Stringfisher.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that makes the music even more interesting is that they have a background in visual art.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's like they're bringing this whole other artistic sensibility to the music.
For sure.
Which I love. Visual artists, they're all about creating these worlds, textures, moods, and Stringfisher does that with their music. It's not just about hearing the notes. It's like immersing yourself in a whole atmosphere.
I love that. Stepping into a painting that you can hear.
Yeah.
Now, before we go too deep into the music itself, we need to rewind a bit and talk about Stringfisher's early days. They actually started out in a grunge band called Not.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, what a contrast.
Talk about a departure.
Right. From like the 90s grunge scene to this dreamy kind of indie pop vibe, it's like they completely reinvented themselves.
It makes you wonder what that journey was like.
And that evolution is always so fascinating to me. It just shows that artists are constantly growing and exploring and maybe even like rebelling against their past selves a little bit, you know?
100%.
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder what kind of journey led them from that grunge sound to what we're hearing now.
It's true.
How do they find their voice?
Yeah.
How do they find their style?
And for us, the listeners, it's a chance to kind of see how the sound develops to connect the dots.
Yeah, like where did this all come from?
But here's where it gets really interesting. Let's dive into the lyrics themselves, because like I was saying, I think that's what initially drew a lot of you to Stringfisher.
Oh, for sure.
And I think there's no better place to start than with the song Present in This Time.
Yeah, great track.
I mean, even just the title in our crazy, like, hyper-connected world.
It kind of hits different, right?
It does.
When you hear those opening lines, like, watch credit cards and photographs just simply float away.
Oh, yeah.
There's this immediate sense of relief, almost like a weight being lifted.
Totally.
It speaks to this, I don't know, this deep desire I think we all have to just escape the digital overload for a minute and reconnect with something real.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. It's like that feeling when you can finally like put your phone down and just breathe, and you're not just like bombarded with notifications and news feeds and, you know, perfectly filtered lives.
Yeah, we all need that.
And it's so funny because they actually use the word present in the lyrics of Present in This Time. It's almost like this mantra to remind us to just like be here now.
Yeah, be present, be mindful.
Right.
It's not just about escaping the digital world either. It's about rediscovering what it means to be present in our own lives, in our own bodies.
It's true.
Yeah. And this theme of escape, of seeking refuge, it pops up again and again in their music.
Totally. Like you even see it in songs like Same Rat, Different Race, and it's going round.
Oh, yeah.
Those lines like running in circles, same rat, different race. Again, like it's that feeling of being stuck, of needing to break free from these cycles that are holding us back.
Yeah, it's like they're tapping into this universal human experience we all have of feeling trapped, maybe by societal expectations, maybe by our own internal struggles, I don't know.
Oh, totally.
And a lot of times that escape is found in nature, wouldn't you say?
100%. I mean, the way Stringfisher brings nature imagery into their lyrics is just... it's magical. You've got oceans, you've got stars, you've got birds. Like you can almost feel the breeze and smell the salt air when you're listening to songs like Canary or Stare Across the Sea or World is Burning.
Oh, they're so evocative.
They are.
And it makes you think about how nature represents this untouched space, this place where we can go to reconnect with ourselves, you know, find a little solace amidst all the chaos.
Yeah, and it makes you wonder, too, how much of Stringfisher's environment in Northwest England kind of feeds into that. You've got, like, the city life, but then you've also got that rugged coastline.
The moors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always kind of right there on the edge, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's like these two worlds that are constantly kind of, like, pushing and pulling against each other.
You know, it's funny you say that because this whole like duality, this tension between urban and natural. It's a theme that runs through a lot of UK indie music.
It's true.
Especially coming out of those industrial areas.
Yeah.
Like there's this collective longing for something more raw, more authentic.
Speaking of authentic, can we talk about Stringfisher's lyrical style for a second?
Yeah.
There's this directness, this conversational tone that's so refreshing. You really feel like they're just sitting across from you telling you a story.
Absolutely.
There's no pretense. There's no like crazy elaborate metaphors or anything like that.
And yet at the same time, you have these moments of like pure poetry.
Right.
These little phrases, they're evocative. Sometimes they're kind of cryptic, but they stick with you. They do, you know, like in the air swirling, or you think about the sign you saw, or all our use. Like, what does that even mean?
Right.
It's like they're leaving it open to your interpretation.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
It's like they're inviting you in to find your own meaning, to connect it to your own experiences.
Okay, so we've talked lyrics, we talked themes, but what about the music itself?
Right. Because it's one thing to have these evocative lyrics, but the music has to hold up too, right?
Totally. You guys know me. Give me a catchy melody, a driving beat, something that gets stuck in your head, and let me tell you, Stringfisher does not disappoint.
Oh, they bring the sound.
They do.
And this is where Stringfisher really shines, I think, because they're not content to just be pigeonholed into one genre. They've got this really cool blend of indie, dream pop, even a little bit of rock at times.
Yeah.
And they create this sound that's both familiar, but also completely their own.
Yes. Like, okay, when I first heard Scream and Shout, I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
This is different.
A little bit of edge there.
Yeah. It's like, that's pure rock and roll, and it makes you just want to move.
It's got that energy.
But then you listen to a song like a lullaby, and it's like you've stepped into a completely different world.
Total mood shift.
Right. It's like soft, it's gentle, it's almost haunting in its beauty.
Totally different vibes.
Right. And that, to me, just speaks to their range as musicians, you know? That ability to shift between these different moods and styles.
Oh, sure.
It's really impressive.
It's like they're not afraid to explore every corner of their musicality, you know?
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it so interesting to listen to.
And speaking of unexpected, because I love when artists throw a curveball, can we talk about the ukulele for a second?
Oh, yeah, the ukulele.
You don't hear a ukulele often in this kind of music.
Not every day.
No. It's usually relegated to, you know, beachy tunes.
Yeah, like summery vibes.
Right, but Stringfisher uses it to create these really, like, rich and complex soundscapes.
Yeah, it's unexpected, right?
It is.
You think ukulele, you think, oh, this is going to be happy-go-lucky, but they use it in all these different ways.
Totally. It's like they've unlocked the ukulele's, like, hidden potential or something.
And it makes you appreciate how any instrument can be pushed beyond those expectations.
100%.
You know, to create something new and exciting.
Okay, so we've thrown a lot of information at you about Stringfisher. We've talked about their background, their lyrics, the music. What do you do with it all?
Right. Where do you even go from here? Well, I think that's the beauty of it all. It's yours to explore.
Yeah.
Stringfisher's music, it's like a mirror, reflecting back your own experiences and your own longings, and maybe even your own interpretations of the world.
I love that, yeah.
Maybe you connect with those themes of escape and finding solace in nature that we talked about. Maybe it's the rawness and the honesty of the lyrics that really speaks to you.
Or maybe you just like bobbing your head along to a good ukulele, you know?
Exactly. It's all valid, and that's what makes their music so great. It's for everyone.
Ooh.
So what's next? Go listen to the songs we talked about.
Yes.
Really pay attention to the lyrics. What images come to mind? How does it make you feel?
Yes. And while you're at it, check out the album art too, because that visual art background, it really comes through.
Oh, yeah. Definitely take a look and, you know, share your thoughts with us. We love hearing from you.
There you have it. That is Stringfisher.
Your new favorite artist, perhaps.
Possibly. Let us know what you think.